People were calling me all day for interviews, for this. I was not able to be in the kitchen. And that's exactly where you need to be when you're opening a restaurant. So I think I made a lot of like bad choices, bad management. I mean, honestly, like I feel like from then to now, the amount of reflection I've done since being a chef for the first time and all the mistakes I've done, I think have helped me where I am today, you know, and understanding that management is way more than just telling people what to do.
This is done.
Today on Campers, we have Alexia Duchêne, the chef and owner of Chêne. Alexia is an incredible chef. She is from France, but she is now living in New York. But now she is 7 months into her own restaurant that is located in the West Village and is one of the hardest restaurants to get into at this point. So we had the lovely pleasure of sitting and dining, and every single item was better than the next. But she was so cool and so calm and way too put together for running a kitchen to that degree. We are making au sommelier, which my prompt to Alexia is, what is something that reminds you of childhood? And she said this, and there is a fair amount of Lebanese food culture in France, and this is a very, very specific traditional Lebanese cake. We're going to add rosewater and orange blossom to this mixture. Okay, this is going to become our icing-ish. This is not traditional. I'm using Hawaiian rolls because I thought that would be a really nice touch. We're gonna cook the cream. It smells insane. We're gonna add the bread immediately. The fish cod cheek nugget was my standout dish when we ate at Chêne. It was the most perfect combination of English meets French, had a baby in a plate. We're gonna put the vermicelli noodles into a bowl, mix it with some ghee, then we are going to press and bake it down, and that is going to be the 2 layers of this cake with our mixture sitting in between. I would go ahead and say that one should be measuring all of this. I think the Hawaiian rolls was a good touch. It's breaking down so easily. Lubricating these bad boys. And we're just gonna press this. Sugar? I mean, it smells really good. It's basically the glue of the cake. These bad boys are going in. Today is Alexia's 30th birthday, and we are very prepared. You can hear them. It's like Rice Krispie treats, but not. 1, 2. Oh man, it's not so bad. Let's flip the shit out of this next one. Okay, bring it like right on top. Now, we're going to put some of this liquid on here. Hello? Okay, I'll see you, in 5 minutes? How are you?
Good to see you too.
Happy birthday! Thank you. Come on, and these doors are very heavy. Happy birthday to you. This is the cake that you love. Au sommelier. Wow, one go.
One go.
I'll go small. All right, God help us.
It's always crunchy. It's crunchy.
Oh!
The orange blossom is...
You are way too nice. You do not need to eat that. You want some water?
Yeah, please.
Dentists are around the corner. So this is an actual pasta noodle, which needs a fucking liquid to cook it, literally. Yeah, we just ate raw pasta.
Yeah.
I'm lighting our seance candle, which represents we have started.
Nice.
Welcome. This is now the second time I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
First time was in your restaurant, Chêne.
About what, a month ago or so, two?
About a month ago.
Yeah.
So Chêne has been open for 6 going on 7.
6 months. It was 6 months, like 3 days ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats. Half a year.
Thank you.
It was an extraordinary experience, from walking into that stunning bar to making my way into the dining room, which kind of feels like the most chicest friend's apartment that you could possibly ever be in. And I mean that in the sense of like, it has such a cozy feel, but it also has such an elevated feel.
Thank you. It means a lot. We wanted for Le Chêne to feel like home. I feel like in France, restaurants are they're not very focused on design.
No.
I mean, the nice restaurants, I feel like the ones that have actually good food, they don't focus too much on other things. And like big groups obviously have, huge budgets and beautiful interior designers and stuff like that. But in New York, I feel like some restaurants put everything in decor, and it's like huge, and it's like those 80-seat restaurants that I feel don't feel very personal. And what we wanted to do was this blend of, chic, elevated, but also cozy and timeless.
I remember the booth, the fabric, which you've imported from
This is Italy, yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, this fabric is my favorite. I wish we could have put it in all of the banquettes, but now
It's a
I
special.
feel like it's nice that it's different,
It's the special booth of the restaurant.
It's a
kind
corner,
of like,
yeah.
Well, thank you for putting me there, because I
course.
didn't stop petting it the whole time. I'm reading off because the whole menu, I feel like I tried majority of the menu, but our exact order was cod cheek nuggets, the uni French toast, razor clams, tuna crudo, the petit vieux,
Yep.
and you sent out a dessert, which was a very homey, almost like deconstructed pie.
Was it
Pie with ice cream. It was a tart ice cream.
is it the clafoutis?
I think so.
So it's the custard kind of like cooked in a pan, warm
Yes.
with like
Yes,
it's like
yes.
a creme brulee on top. It's a very classic French dessert, yeah.
Yes. Which felt, had such, I mean, all of these feel cozy, but they're also so elevated. And then that dessert came out, and it was like, I feel like I'm sitting in my grandmother's in the best way.
But that's what you want. I feel like that's exactly what I want people to feel, is this sense of comfort and feeling that French food doesn't need to always be, pretentious. And sometimes you just want a warm hug, especially for dessert. Yeah.
Because you're full. You can only have a few
Yeah.
bites.
Exactly.
And that's what it did.
Yeah.
But although I think we finished it. So
Everybody finishes it. Yeah.
for me, the standout dish was the cod cheek.
You liked it?
Insane. It was insane. It was the most perfectly cooked piece of fish, covered in flaky light batter, paired with caviar,
Yeah.
paired with, what was the cream?
It's like a sous vide, so we like cook down onions for like a few hours with no color. You don't want color, and then you blend that, so it's really like the sweetness of the onion.
So it's not cream. It's,
And then you fold it in whipped cream, so it's like an onion flavored whipped cream.
my God. That was a knockout. It is, I think what you're giving us with it, it's a small portion, but it's like, it's
Yeah.
such a loaded portion. If I was there, I might have ordered a second one, but it's perfect.
Yeah,
perfect
I
little
like
bite.
this bite because it's indulgent, and also it's a lot of people put caviar and chicken, and it's very good. But putting that on cod, and it's such a lean piece of fish, I think it does let the caviar shine even more. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And it was a very nice combination of, I feel like your parents.
Yeah.
Your dad is French. Your mother is from England.
Born in England and then grew up in Egypt and Greece.
Okay.
Yeah, so a blend of everything. But yeah, there is a bit
It's
of
like
this
elevated French
Yeah.
fish and chips.
Yeah, there is a bit of this cheeky British French, nod in a lot of dishes, just because of my upbringing.
Can
Yeah.
you tell me about your upbringing? I feel like there's a lot of culture overlap there.
I grew up in Paris.
Okay.
My dad is from Normandy, so we would go to Normandy like nearly every weekend at some point,
Wow.
at like a country house. And my mother is English, was so born in England near Manchester, and then grew up in Egypt, in Cairo, and then Athens for a few years, for like 8 or 9 years in Greece, and like 14 years in Egypt.
Wow.
So she speaks Arabic, she speaks Greek. I have a lot of family in Cairo, and I have a lot of family in Greece still, so I go very often. And I didn't really grow up eating French food. I mean, I had a few French dishes, obviously, like we had roasted chicken, we had a few classics, but my mom was really cooking a lot, especially when I was very young, and she was making, stuffed vine leaves, Greek salad. We would eat molocheia, which is a very classic soup from Egypt. And it's true that was my comfort food, and I really discovered French food in culinary school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though when you were living in Paris, like what was your age range while you were there?
I grew up in Paris. So I was born in Paris, and I left Paris at 19.
Okay. And you weren't having...
I mean, I would have French food, but we would go out to the restaurant with my parents like 3 times a week.
Wow.
But because we would eat 3 times a week, we didn't go to those heavy restaurants. We'd go to a small brasserie in the corner. We'd just have like a grilled steak with potatoes, or like a grilled salmon. Nothing like, we'd eat pate and like, bœuf bourguignon every day.
I mean, that sounds like a very nice diet. It's not the American diet, that's for sure. Yeah. Do you think in going out to eat and having a mother that cooked, does your dad also cook? Or
Yeah. Not often, but when he does, he takes his time. He goes to the market. He enjoys it. Yeah.
Slow cooking.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Do you think that combination is why you're cooking today?
Yeah, I think I feel like I've always enjoyed the art of hosting, even before cooking. My parents would host a lot of dinners, just like, preparing the table, choosing the tablecloth, and like choosing the menu. All of these things I thought were super special. And then I did really love cooking, but it wasn't something I was sure of. I think I really had this moment where I was sure that I wanted to pursue this when I was probably like 20, and I already cooked for 5 years.
Yeah. You started when you're 15.
Yeah. I started when I was 15. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I just wanted to do something different. I've always liked being, just different in the family. So I would always, if everybody was doing tennis, I would play, judo. If someone was doing guitar, I would be like, yeah, I want to do electric guitar. Like,
okay, so a little bit of a black sheep is in your soul. Okay,
a bit too much sometimes. My parents said liking,
fair.
But yeah. So when I started cooking, I think I was like, let's do it. I wasn't really sure. You're 15. Who knows? And I feel like I didn't really enjoy it that much at the beginning. I had like professors that were quite tough. They thought that women didn't really have a space in the kitchen, and that I was too ambitious, also I wouldn't say a teacher's pet, because not really, but like in the one class that I really enjoyed, I went to perfection, like all the cooking classes, and then the math classes and all the others, I wouldn't even show up. But for the cooking thing, balance. I would come like half an hour before. Okay. With everything super ironed, all my notes already, taken. And I think that the teacher in question I had the first year just was like, what are you doing?
So, okay, at 15, you were in culinary school?
It's like a culinary high school in France.
Got it. Okay.
It's for a lot of cases, unfortunately, it's where you send kids that are not going to make it to college. Okay. And you're like, choose a field so you can have like a plumbing high school. You can go to an electrical high school to learn all about, wiring and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different fields where you send kids at 15 that are not made for the normal high school thing. Okay. So my parents were not thrilled that I would go into that route, because it also wouldn't allow me to go to university if I wanted to change my mind.
Kind of pigeonholed you into food. And this was your decision. You said, I want to go. Okay.
But I also believe that when you don't have a choice, it's when you actually do something right. I feel like a lot of people in life have too much choices. And when you have a lot of choices, you keep looking at what's better. And I felt that the deeper I got into food, I had no choice but to succeed in this field. And that is when I feel like I got my shit together and I was like, you don't have a choice. You have to show up. You have to be good, because if you don't, then you're going to work, in a fast food. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's what you want, then accept it and do it.
Do you think there was ever a moment from 15 to now that you second guessed and you're like, I think I made the wrong decision, or like, I don't know if I want to be here?
I think there are a lot of moments where you think, why am I doing this? Even now, there's some days where you're like, why am I working on a Saturday night doing 100 covers? But when you see the guests and like the dining room that's full and like the staff that is so happy and pumped up, that's when you realize like there's nowhere I would rather be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Your restaurant has that feel for sure.
But you have that in every field. I don't think you can live a life without questioning your choices. It doesn't mean that you regret it. It just means that you're questioning. And I think that's a good thing.
What was it like your first job? So the specialized high school brought you to what age?
It was like a high school, so 15 to 18.
Okay, so 18 was your first kitchen job, or a little?
No. Basically, they put you regularly in kitchen jobs. You have like internships all along your high school. Okay. And they usually put us in pretty terrible restaurants that like honestly warm frozen food. Oh. Because it's not they don't see, the French system doesn't see this path as something for ambitious people, and that's the big problem. So you put kids that already are put down by the French education system, and then they go into bad restaurants. They're like, this is honestly shit, and as they should. How can you inspire people? And I remember going to my professor and I was like, I want to be in a Michelin-starred restaurant. He was like, we don't usually do that. I was like, well, you have to do it for me. And he did. And I went into...
At what age?
16. It was like...
what were you doing?
Like simple things, I was just like picking herbs. But I was staying in between all of my breaks. And I remember I was buying pigeon. There was a store next door that was selling pigeons. I wanted to recreate a dish that they had on the menu, but I couldn't use their protein. So I went to the store, I bought pigeons, I brought it back to the kitchen, and during my break, one of the line cooks showed me how to do the dish. And yeah, I was just like practicing on my own. Yeah.
Did they see that and kind of, not, I want to say like massage it, but like help you get better?
I don't think so. I feel like...
Or they were like, you take a break.
I don't feel like I've been in many kitchens that have seen my enthusiasm and, help me. I think there are some people that do that, but I think a lot of people are just focused on themselves and they're not going to, go out their way to help someone else progress. So I kind of did a lot of that by myself. My parents would buy literally like 20 chickens on the weekend for me to learn how to like, tie them and like stuff like that. It was crazy. Yeah.
Very supportive parents.
Yeah, very.
Was there any chef or any restaurant that you do think gave you that little hug that you maybe needed from a chef?
I think the first person, I was a line cook at 21, and honestly I didn't have much experience, but I felt I wanted more. And I was working at a place and the sous chef was leaving, and the chef, Giovanni Passerini, Italian, gave me the opportunity to be a sous chef. I think that's the first person that helped me grow. He wasn't really like teaching me a lot of things per se, but he was also helping me grow by
pushing you.
Also not being here, giving me the space, being like, yeah, you're a sous chef, lead this thing.
Figure it out.
And I think that was a great way for me to, just like own up to things and, learn how to do this kitchen thing by myself. Yeah.
Was there any chef or restaurant experience that was pretty shitty?
A lot. I feel like it's a very tough business. A lot of restaurants have had some where I've had some tough experiences. I feel like Taïwan was really hard. It's like a 2 Michelin star in France, but it's in Paris. It's a very, very traditional restaurant. We were like 25 in the kitchen.
Wow.
A lot of hierarchy, a lot of bodies, very traditional French cuisine. It was crazy. It was intense.
Mostly men?
Yeah, mostly men. I think there were 2 women in the kitchen, and I had a sous chef, Grant, that was basically like Gordon Ramsay, kind of like he was British and crazy, and also just mean for no reason, And
Mean to everyone, or specifically like he would kind of
he was mean to anyone, and he was pretty nice to me. But then he was way older than me, and I think that he was doing those little flirty jokes, and when he saw I wasn't really responsive, he was like super mean. I was like,
Jesus.
I was like, I was 16 at the time. He was like 50. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, wake up, So I've had a lot of this. I think as a woman, that's mostly what you get in kitchens. But I'm lucky I didn't have anything that traumatized me to the point that I left the industry.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I also kind of think you probably have pretty tough skin.
Yeah, and I also had really good parents. I remember like one guy sending me like very inappropriate messages. My parents went to HR the next day, and he actually quit by himself. So it's just
Like your parents,
my parents are very much like, if something happens, report it, and we move on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You have good parents.
yeah.
So that was 21, or the you just said it. The sous chef job was
Sous chef's job 21, and I applied for. No, I didn't apply. Top Chef called me like
I was
3
just gonna enter
times.
into that.
They called me 3 times in a row when I was 18, 19,
Told you when
and
you were
20.
18.
Yeah, they find people on Facebook, not necessarily because I had like a crazy career. It's more like they look at people who like post like photos of dishes and stuff like that, and they've been to like good high schools.
Okay. So you were 23,
I was 22 when we filmed.
22 when you filmed.
21. Sorry, 21 when we filmed.
Oh my gosh.
It came out when I was 22. Yeah.
How was that?
It was crazy, but I think the fact that I was so young,
You came in third.
yeah. But I didn't even think of this. Honestly, I had no plan. I had no expectation because I was so young. I think I went with I didn't even have a game plan. Like, people do Top Chef and they're like, I'm gonna open a restaurant after that. But I was like 22. Like 21? What do you want me to do? Like, I didn't have any sort of plan. So I just did it and had fun and met a lot of amazing chefs. I'm pretty into competition, so I wasn't really friends with a lot of the other like contestants. I had like 1 or 2 good buddies, but the rest it was really hard. Especially as a woman, I really wanted to beat them to prove that women can also,
Were there other women in the competition, or was it?
There were like a few, but it's always a shame because they always take really, really young women on the show and they have no experience, It's not even against them. And it's just like you take a woman that's 19, that's been cooking for a year, obviously she's going to be beaten by the guys that have been cooking for many more years.
Yeah.
So especially my year, it was a bit of a shame because all the women left really early in the show. And honestly, for like half of the show was literally by myself with men. And yeah, it was tough mentally, I would say.
How many rounds?
You film for 2 months.
Okay.
Nearly every day, multiple times a day.
Wow.
Um,
That's intense.
yeah, it's intense. And you live in a hotel with everyone.
Where was it filmed?
Like in the suburbs of Paris. But what's hard is like you have to pack your bags every 2 days because you don't know if you're going to leave. So every 2 days you pack and you unpack and you pack and you unpack. And it's like horrible. And you change rooms also, which is crazy. So you spend your whole like 2 months just
for
like...
whole 2 months you were in like a fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I cut my finger pretty bad at one point, which I nearly left the show for, yeah.
In that case, do they see that and it's up to you if you want to stay, or they see that as like this girl doesn't know how to cook?
No, they told me like, if you don't do the episode right now, we have to make you leave. And I was like, okay. Yeah, make me leave. And then when they said that, they were like, okay, no, we're going to figure it out. And then they were like, okay, we'll film tomorrow at 6 a.m. So I filmed the next day like at 6. And I actually won that thing the next day. And I think this gave me the mentality of being like, okay, crazy things happen. I went to the hospital and now I'm like back at it, like on adrenaline and like all the craziness. And And I think this was like halfway through the show, and it gave me the energy to go until the semifinals.
What did it feel like coming in third?
I think it was hard because you lose.
Yes, but you made first. How many people did you start with?
20.
That's
No, it's a lot. I mean, but first there's always failure that comes first. I feel like it's always like, yeah, you didn't win. But then there was a lot of relief because, I had so much more to go for, Yeah. I didn't win Top Chef, I had so much to just go and grab in life. So, and I was, only 21 when we filmed. So it was just also a nice relief, and it made me dream for other things. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
After the show, where did you go?
After the show, I had a lot of people contact me for a bunch of different projects, and I accepted one crazy guy that bought a whole building in Paris in the third, and was opening a restaurant. He didn't have much experience. He was more in the nightlife kind of scene.
Okay.
He wanted to open a restaurant with the nightclub underneath, and the guy was like, we'll pay you during construction. My parents were like, you're not even thinking about it. You're taking it. We want you to, work and not just have this life where you kind of like wait for things, and there's nothing better than this that's going to come. So it's like, okay, this guy's kind of crazy, but like, let's do it. So the construction actually lasted for like a year and something. Like, it was crazy. And he was like, I hired like people. And so he was paying all of us for like
A full year?
months, a year, full salaries, waiting for this to open. It was
Did
like,
it ever open?
It opened. And then 3 months later, COVID happened.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was insane. But so, yeah, I was part of this project. And to be honest, I wasn't ready to be a chef. Like, it was too big of a space, too many people. I was, so people were calling me all day for interviews, for this. I was not able to be in the kitchen. And that's exactly where you need to be when you're opening a restaurant. So I think I made a lot of like bad choices, bad management. I mean, honestly, like, I feel like from then to now, the amount of reflection I've done since being a chef for the first time, and all the mistakes I've done, I think have helped me where I am today, and understanding that management is way more than just telling people what to do.
Totally.
So So yeah, I mean, it was a good experience, but after that, after COVID, I took a lot of years to just, do events, figure things out. What do I want to do? Where do I want to be as a chef? I wasn't even really sure I wanted to open a restaurant, to be honest. Like, I felt like it wasn't for me because I was not, I was by myself.
Sure.
You don't really feel like you can open a restaurant by yourself.
Did you, at that moment, I mean, COVID in Paris was also crazy. You guys were not allowed to leave your house, go very far if you left your house. When did New York and wanting to move to New York come on your radar? Or was it always on your radar?
I always loved New York. I had my godparents had a flat here for a long time, so I would come from time to time. I remember coming here for the first time at 17, and I did,
a good age to come.
And they organized like an internship at La Grenouille, which is a very, very classic French restaurant that unfortunately closed like a year ago, I think. And I staged there for a month, and it was crazy, chaos, crazy kitchen. We're doing like 200 covers a night.
Did you love it?
But yeah, I loved it, and it was so different from what I've seen in France. And I remember saying to myself, like, yeah, I want to open something here one day, but it's just like, how? I'm French. I don't have a green card. Like, how do you move to New York? Like, it's super hard. And actually, my friend Hugo Ivernat, who has Fulgurance in Greenpoint.
Which place?
Fulgurance. It's like a place that has like residencies, like chefs.
Oh, cool.
Every 2 months, they change chefs.
Very cool.
And they have one in Paris, and I've known them for a while. And I've done a few residencies with them. They told me we're opening in New York.
In both areas? So you did some in New York?
I did some in Paris originally.
Okay.
And then he was like, I'm opening in New York. Do you want to be part of the program? I was like, that's crazy. I mean, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
And so he was like, it's 2 months. And it was January, February. So I came to New York like 3.5 years ago, for 2 months with my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time. We're like, let's see how it goes. Let's see if we like it, and if we do, let's figure it out how we can just like move here. Yeah. He was not in the industry at the time. He was a photographer for a lot of like alcohol brands. So he would go to the Caribbean and shoot like distilleries and stuff like that.
So cool.
And so he literally followed me in New York. He didn't have any job here. So he was like waiting all day and like exploring the city and taking pictures and stuff, but he wasn't really doing much. So it was crazy for him to do that. But so I did the residency for 2 months. I loved it. I met a lot of people. People contacted me, were like, we're interested, let's do something. And I had one guy that was interested in opening a restaurant in Bowery. And we were talking, everything was moving. And then a month in the discussions, he was like, it's not happening. And that same day, there's this American woman who lives in Paris who posted a story on Instagram saying, there's this restaurant in Brooklyn that's opening. It's looking for a head chef. And I immediately replied. I got connected the next day. We talked. And then I started the procedures to get a green card. Mm-hmm. And moved to New York like 6 months after.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this was Margot?
Margot, yeah.
So you were the head chef that opened Margot?
Yeah.
How long were you with them?
I moved to New York February. We opened in, I would say April or May. I think May.
Okay. Decent amount of time to get it.
And then we separated, I'm going to say maybe 7 weeks in or something like that.
Oh.
Pretty soon. Like, or
Why?
maybe 2 months. I think we didn't see eye to eye. I feel like we're very different, not in a bad way, but it's just like, I think they want a very casual hospitality and something that feels like, we could just grab a drink, have some food, regardless of what the food is. It doesn't really matter. It's more of a gathering place.
Yeah. That's the feeling I got.
I feel like, but maybe more intentional in the food. I feel like the food is obviously super important to me. I've been cooking for 15 years. It's my dream. I didn't come to New York to do salads and burgers, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just not what I want to do right now.
Okay. Was it a clean break?
No, it was a hard break. It was 10 minutes before service.
Oh,
screaming in the street. It was pretty bad. It was tough. It was.
Did you cook that service or you walked out?
No, they decided they didn't want to open. So we closed the restaurant. The next day we kind of like, I come into service and I learned that they offered my position to everyone already. My sous chef, all the line cooks. And it was a crazy break. And I think a lot of reflection. Not everything is black and white. There's a lot of bad decisions made from everyone. So
takes two or many to tango.
Yeah, exactly. So it was hard. It was not easy, but I think it was exactly what I needed. Because after the first restaurant in Paris didn't work out with a guy that didn't know much about the industry, this second experience with people that just didn't match my energy, I was like, listen, I don't want to be part of anyone's partnership anymore. I want to create my own thing with my husband where we share the same vision. And the next day we started building our deck. The next day we're like,
I got chills. That's crazy.
It's just like, we're like, let's not mope around. It's just a bad situation, but it's going to bring something much better. And yeah.
Immediate follow-up question, because I know that he is the partner in the restaurant and he is the wine guy.
Yeah.
And the front of house.
Yeah.
Was he always a wine guy?
His parents are winemakers in Bordeaux, so definitely yes, he's the wine guy.
That's in his blood.
Yeah. But I think he's always loved hospitality. I remember when we started dating, he told me he wanted to be a butcher or a chef growing up. Like he wanted that, but I think once again in France, it's not something that you push. His parents are a bit more intellectual. They read a lot of books and stuff like that. So they were pushing a more like normal curriculum for him. So he went to PR agencies. He did a lot of like communication, stuff like that.
Okay.
And when we met, I think it also gave him the opportunity to pursue that aspect that he's always loved, you know.
Totally.
So it was quite natural for us to partner up, and it feels pretty good.
So crazy. Okay, so you start this deck
Yep.
from scratch.
Yeah.
What was on the vision board immediately? Did you know you wanted to be in Manhattan?
Yeah.
Were you always Manhattan?
We knew. I feel like, you know, we lived in Brooklyn for a year. The Brooklyn food scene is way more casual, and it's funny how, you know, he's not afraid to say that he loves fine dining. I know it's a lot of people are like, yeah, it feels pretentious to say that, but we love going to a place where we feel like we're celebrating. We love that feeling, you know. And when we go out, we like to dress up. We like to just make a special night out of it. So that is definitely something we wanted. We never really wanted to be too much of a neighborhood restaurant, even though, you know, we have regulars that just come at the restaurant, pop in, have a glass, have dinner.
They're just always celebrating.
Exactly. And I think we're very much like that. We celebrate like a Monday. We celebrate. We don't need anything to celebrate. Like, it's just us being together, you know. And so that was definitely the vision, like this French food, great ingredients. I would say not too fussy. Like great execution, but not, you know, too much. And great wine list, and just a nice vibe.
I feel like that was the most perfect way to describe
Yeah.
your current restaurant. Did West Village become the dream, or that kind of also fell into your hands when you started looking?
We were looking initially on the Upper East Side.
Oh, wow.
Ronan was
different
working.
vibe.
Yeah, very different vibe. Ronan was working for Daniel Boulu's restaurant on the Upper East, Café Boulu. We were living in the neighborhood. We love the neighborhood. It's really nice. We felt like we could really do something special there. So we were looking for a long time. And also a few of our investors live there, so it made sense. Really hard market, really hard to find a good space. And also location is super important in the Upper East, because like in the West Village, people will travel. If you're going to the West Village, people will walk around. On the Upper East, it's really like either it's close to people's houses or it's too far away.
Yep.
So we ended up opening our kind of, you know, searching field, and the West Village was the only real location I was looking for besides the Upper East. We visited a few places in Chelsea, and like it's just not the same.
No, I think you guys are right where you need to be.
And it's funny because this restaurant, I didn't really want it at the beginning. People were saying it was like a cursed street, that it wasn't really like a good space. Like people were very like opinionated about this thing. It's like, oh, it's close to this, it's close to that, there's this. And I was like, I just felt good with the landlord. Like we really like hit it off. And I think having a good relationship with your landlord is like honestly like 50% of how successful your restaurant is going to be. Because if you have a landlord that wants to make your life difficult, he will.
Yeah, he
So,
can close
yeah.
you down too.
Yeah. So that was definitely something that made me feel comfortable to pursue the location. Yeah.
And you guys live very close to the restaurant, don't you?
Yeah, we live on the 6th floor, and
did that help the relationship that you guys are also living in the same building that you guys have your baby?
the apartment came after.
Okay.
When we signed, we're like, listen, we really want to live in the building. Like, if you have something,
We'll take it.
yeah, we'll take it. And I mean, he showed us the tiniest apartment first, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, it's
You're
just
already
like
in a tight.
it was.
I mean,
just
your kitchen is beautiful,
yeah.
but it's any kitchen. It's tight.
I didn't want to honestly be in such a tight space. And then he showed me another apartment. I was like, this is perfect. We'll take it.
Okay.
And we're so happy. I don't think we could do what we're doing right now without living in the apartment. A lot of people, when we just opened, were like, oh, it doesn't feel like that new. I feel like you got your groove quite quickly. And even though, I mean, we're nowhere near where we want to be, I do think that the fact that we live upstairs, it means that I'm always here.
Now,
Yeah.
there's probably a ton of pros to that. Are there any cons from living so close?
Not at the moment. I feel like, yes, it's hard to
Divide.
separate, but I don't think I want to at this point. Like, it's only been 6 months. Like, why would you want to separate your life when this is all I've been working for, you know, like towards. So maybe in a few years we'll keep this apartment as a, you know, an office, and we'll move somewhere else. But I feel like this year is literally like my dream. So yeah, I'm there all the time, and that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about staffing a whole restaurant in a new city.
The worst experience of my life.
Really?
It was, I mean,
How many times have you changed everybody?
I would say the one constant is my sous chef.
Okay.
He literally DM'd me because his friend knew of me from France.
Okay.
The guy never watched Top Chef. He didn't even know me. He was like, just like, I heard you were looking for someone. I'm here. And we met.
He was living in Paris or he was living in New
No,
York?
he was living in New York. He just moved from San Francisco. What's crazy is he's French, but he was born in the US.
Oh.
Which is honestly the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
He
both
doesn't
visas.
have any visa problems, which is quite rare with French chefs. And we met, we hit it off. We have the same passion for French food. And I didn't even, you know, he didn't trail or anything. Like there was nothing to do. The
You
kitchen
literally
was,
just hired him?
I was like, I trust you. You trust me. Let's do this.
Whoa.
I didn't even know his level in the kitchen. I had no idea. I knew he worked in like 3 Michelin stars in France and stuff like that, but you never know. You know, I've had people working in like the most prestigious kitchens and be honestly some of the worst line cooks I've ever seen. So it doesn't really mean anything where you've cooked before, but I just trusted him. And I think that is probably the best decision I've ever made in this restaurant. And the rest of the team was extremely hard because we're recruiting, you know, and culinary agents. Nobody knew us. Like, why would you apply to a new restaurant where nobody knows the chef, nobody knows the other owner? Like, it's just, we're getting people that had no experience in the kind of food that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, I had some people that were like, you know, guys that were delivering food with DoorDash that were applying, and I was like, thank you. And I was meeting them, and I was like, honestly, we're not going to be able to work. We're not going to be able to do this because you need to delegate. I need to be able to be like, you do this, you cut it like that, and then we come together and we do the recipe.
Because you also don't test your recipes, I've read.
No, yeah.
So how do you pass that down to somebody
It's super hard, yeah.
You're not making it easy.
I mean, the first 3 months, I feel like I barely slept. With Mathis, my sous chef, we're in the kitchen every day, starting at like 7, even on the weekend, and finishing at 1. It was crazy. Honestly, like, I don't think I could have kept going for much longer.
You burn out.
Yeah. I was doing everything because we didn't have the cooks that we needed. You know, it's just like...
At what point, so if the restaurant is 6 months old, at what point do you feel that you were in a comfortable position with a team?
I think right now we have a really amazing team. It's been like a month or two that I feel
solid.
like the team is exactly what I need. It's just a really good mix of people. They all come from different backgrounds. But other than that, the core value is it's kindness. Everybody's kind, you know. It's like people are nice. They respect each other. They respect me. I respect them. And like technique is one thing, but like respect and kindness is something that you can't really teach. And I'm very lucky with my team, yeah.
So I would say, and you've kind of said it also, that you wanted a restaurant that felt like a celebration. And I think that your food is on the higher level of fine dining. Did you ever think to go like a prefix menu versus a la carte?
I don't like a prefix. I think that people want choice. I want choice, you know, when I go out, I want choice. And I also love that people come for different reasons. You know, some people, they just come, they have a tartare and a glass of wine and they go home. And some people, they have the turbo and they have like 5 starters, 4 snacks. And
That's
everybody tailors their own experience. You know, you can't try and force people into a prefix just because for the numbers, it makes more sense. You know, I felt like I know what I want to do. I know this is exactly what I want to do. And yeah, I feel like tasting menus are great, but I myself maybe go to a tasting menu, 3 times a year?
Yeah. It's a very, very special occasion.
Yeah. So for me, it's just like a la carte all the way. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think the perfect order would be right now of your current menu?
Okay. So if you're
Two people.
2 shrimp tarts,
Okay.
2 cod cheeks,
Definitely.
and then you can do an uni toast cut in 2
Definitely.
with a bit of truffle if it's the season. And then
On the uni toaster? That's
yeah,
oh my
yeah.
goodness.
White truffle at the
The
moment.
most decadent,
Yeah, it's
beautiful
nice.
thing ever.
Then I would do the razor clams. I think it's really nice, comforting. Right now we have leeks vinaigrette with like a seaweed gribiche, which I really love. It's fresh. It's not too heavy. And the potato and truffle dish that we have, same seasonal. It's like potato, truffle, aged balsamic, and then like a really nice cheese foam from like a cheese from Burgundy. And then turbo that we have from France. We dry age it for a whole week. We grill it on the barbecue with a seaweed beurre blanc and smoked potato puree. That's really, really nice. Yeah, simple, casual.
Super casual.
Yeah.
Real casual. Okay, I guess I have to come back and try
Yeah.
that. I'm going to read out a few headlines that were written about you. Well, only 2. So one is Alexia Duchêne is redefining modern French cooking. The second one is the chef leading a new wave of French cuisine. Those are pretty insane titles
Yeah.
titles. What does that mean for you? What does that do for you? What does modern French cuisine mean?
Modern French, I think for me at Chêne is really leaning in towards like we go deep into old cookbooks, old recipes, and just thinking of ways to bring it, a bit more alive with what's in season right now. Like the beurre blanc, we'll just twist it with a bit of dashi and seaweed, and instead of putting a bit too much butter, we just add a touch of water and lighten the sauce. We just try and bring those new techniques that we're lucky to have now that everybody shares, ingredients worldwide. Same for the beef tartare. We do a harissa with Mexican chilies and a bit of Jimmy Nardello's from the market, bunch of like spices. And it's French, but it's also not French. And I think we're a French restaurant in New York. We draw inspiration from everywhere. And I don't want to be a French restaurant that's stuck in time, serving food that people were eating 50 to 100 years ago. It just doesn't make sense. And if you want to do that, then just read an old cookbook and make it yourself,
Well, you'll be turning the page because the recipes are about 4 pages long for most of these
Exactly.
things.
And you need to be understanding who you're cooking for, People don't want that anymore, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
No.
What does it mean for you that those are the titles that people are?
No, it's
Saying
always an honor, and also it's just the beginning, so I don't take it too seriously in a sense, because before even being, a chef, I've always looked up to like Alain Ducasse. Even Jean-Georges was one of my biggest inspirations when I was a kid. Daniel Boulou, all these French chefs that have led, a path for other French chefs now to be in New York. And I hope one day that I can be the part of that new change. But this will only come with work and consistency and just being in the kitchen, I think that it's great to have headlines like that, but it means nothing if the work is not done. So, yeah.
And ongoing.
Yeah.
You just said that you add a seasonal touch to a lot of your dishes. What is your favorite season to cook with? Terribly difficult question.
I love spring,
Okay.
but I think it's not even a season, it's a micro season. My favorite month is like October. The last tomatoes,
The juicy, sweet
Yeah.
tomatoes.
the last peppers, and like you start seeing at the end of the month a bit of sunchokes. And I think that's what's interesting. It's like those micro seasons where 2 seasons come into one. I think that's my favorite, yeah.
What would be a dish using that specific season that you've had on the menu?
We have one at the moment with the preserved tomatoes. So we do a toro from Japan that we dry age and we grill on the barbecue. and we do like a tomato water. So you basically you mix tomatoes with a bunch of herbs. Like you would make a tomato salad.
Okay.
Nice chunky tomato salad. You put whatever you want in it. You put basil, cilantro, parsley,
Brightness.
spring onion, whatever. Salt, and then you blitz it, and then you pass it through a fine mesh, and you just extract the pure liquid of it. And it tastes like a salad, but it's water. And then we smoke that water.
How do you smoke the water?
We just burn some hay, and put the bowl with the tomato water on top of it, and then we wrap it. And then that liquid is served with a bit of olive oil, some flowering dill, and some grilled Jimmy Nardello peppers. And I think, and we season it with a bit of like mustard and a bunch of things. But this is something that I love eating. The previous season during the current season, and yeah, it's fun.
That sounds insane.
People.
Is it currently on the menu?
Yeah. People love this
next
dish.
Week?
Yeah.
Will it still be there?
Yeah.
Okay. Final questions about the restaurant, specifically working with your husband.
Mm-hmm.
How is that? Are there pros and cons towards that, or is it just pure bliss?
I mean, I'm gonna say it's pure bliss, but there are tensions at some point. But I feel like we understand each other. We barely see each other for really.
Yeah, front of house, back of house.
Front of house, back of house. He's at the door most nights. I'm in the kitchen. I think what I love about it is just the pure trust. There's no one I know that will go to the length of hospitality like he does. We have each other's backs. Mm-hmm. We're always here when there is a tough situation. We never judge each other. I think that's important. If someone makes a mistake,
it's okay.
It's okay. I'm not being like, oh, how could you do this? It's just like everybody makes mistakes.
Of course.
And I think that I wouldn't open a restaurant by myself. That's for sure. And so him also joining this adventure is something I'm super grateful, because this allows me to do my dream that I would not really do by myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you separate work?
You don't.
Romance.
No, you don't. I think.
Okay.
But I think that has always been our dynamic. Like, before even like having a restaurant together, we're very much working together on projects, and we'd always talk about work. I think work is something that we love in general. We love working. Mm-hmm. Both our parents work together. So my parents work together, his parents work together. Oh. So it's something that is honestly super natural for us to see our parents, being in this duo and talking about work. And, it's just honestly like we're just reproducing what we know.
What do your parents do?
My mother she built an English school, like an English after school kind of for kids, and my dad joined the more like operational part, and my sister also is in the company, and his parents are winemakers. His dad is more in production. His mother is a bit more
tag team.
Yeah, it's a tag team, and I think that's also fun. There's obviously cons. Sometimes you just want a break, but
yeah.
Who would you trust more?
Do you think that you get a break during service, because you guys really are in separate worlds?
I mean, I feel like service is, at the end of service, I ask him like, how was your night? Like we don't see each other. So, So no, we do have a break. And on the weekend we talk about work. We talk about, what we want to build, where we want to go. We talk about the team, how we can be better. But I think it comes out of, good heart. Mm-hmm. And some days when I really don't want to talk about work, I just say like, let's not talk about it. And we don't talk about it for maybe like 2-3 hours. And then we talk about it again. And that's okay.
I mean, it's also your baby. Like,
yeah. And you wouldn't talk about your baby all day? Like,
I literally do.
That's
my real life baby. I talk about her all day long.
Exactly.
And it doesn't get old. So I get it. Final question of you and restaurants.
No.
Is this one of many that you think are coming restaurant-wise?
For sure. I mean, I think I want to redefine French food in New York, and I want to be part of that change. And there are many different concepts. How many, I don't know. But right now I'm so focused on Le Chêne. It's like, there's so much more to come in this restaurant, in this space. And yeah.
I can't wait to come back. Okay, we're on to our fun round.
Okay.
Or at least it's fun for me. These are fast questions. First thing that comes to mind. Where are you eating on your night off?
Sushi Nakazawa. I love sushi.
I think Orion. Do you know Orion Shapira?
No.
She's the executive chef at Chêne.
Oh, yeah.
Also was her answer.
Yeah, I love sushi. Like,
All right,
it's
all the
just,
chefs are going there.
It's just nice, a nice wine list, nice sushi.
Okay. Favorite post-service snack?
I don't snack after service.
What?
No.
Do you
My
eat-
husband eats like
Do you
a
eat during
pile
service
of
though?
food. Yeah, I try. I don't trust a chef that doesn't try. I try all the food. There's not a single dish that goes out on the pass that I don't try like a touch of it.
So you're snacking.
I'm snacking.
You're
yeah.
snacking
But
on
if
good
I
stuff,
if
too.
I really really want to eat a post snack, I have like canned sardines, like really really
Solo
high end
or-
with like bread and butter.
Well done.
Yeah.
Okay. Best cheese on a burger.
American cheese. Yeah.
Okay. Said by the
Yeah.
French.
I don't want any fancy cheese on my burger ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want a fancy burger?
No.
Okay. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Pizza order.
I like a white slice.
Slice.
Actually, my friends at Series did a clam pie that was
God, I haven't been.
insane. The clam pie is crazy.
Okay.
So clam pie it is.
And you could do half, right? You could do half clam.
You can't do half. When they
okay,
do the
it's
clam, they don't do any halves. I think. I mean, I don't.
Maybe I
wanna
think
talk
I'm a
about it.
Verbi Rosa. Right.
But yeah, it's very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. Favorite way to eat a potato?
Steamed with lots of butter and like caviar on top.
Fuck
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Last, what would be your egg order?
I like eggs poached or fried, but no scramble, no omelet. Not really. Yeah.
Do you like any garnish with it? Cheese or
I would say
harissa?
I love yogurt and harissa, like labneh, harissa, and like pita bread.
Delicious.
Yeah.
That was my last question.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you so much.
First, thank you.
It was so lovely. God, getting to know ins and outs of your life and the restaurant.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being
Of
here.
course. Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for camping out. My conversation with Alexia made me very hungry. You can find her on Instagram at Alexia Duchêne, and the restaurant is Le Chêne, NYC. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe to Campers wherever you listen to podcasts and leave a review. I'll catch you next time.